Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Darren. I hope you're all safe and well and having a good stitchy week. So today we're going to be doing our stitch with me, and I'm doing it on my Dragons of the Sabbat. Try and get a bit more of this black filled in. I thought I'd do this one today, it's a bit easier. And this one is being done on 28 count easy guide, and I'm doing it 1/1 full cross with a lot of black. An awful lot of black. I think it's something like 250,000 stitches in black, something like that. So I thought I'd do this one. Now, there's no guarantee this one's going to be as long as the previous ones. Got a busy day this morning, so I filmed my update video, and then I filmed my 23 projects in 2023 video, so you can see what's coming in on that one. So that one will be up probably Thursday. This one should go up on Tuesday if all goes according to plan. So yeah, it was fun doing the 23 and 23 projects. It was good to see what everyone's favourites were. I'm going to say some of them there was a landslide of the favourite, and other ones it was like very close. So it was really good. So this one is not one of the ones that go through to 2023. Just a spoiler alert. So this one, because it's just plain black stitching, I'm thinking on this one I might just work on this one every week on a Thursday, because Thursday is the day I don't get much stitching done, because Thursday's shopping day, so by the time we go home it's normally later and I don't get much time to stitch. So I'm thinking I might use this one for my Thursday stitching until the end of the year, just to get some work done to slowly get towards one of the dragons. Not a tiger, a dragon. And see how we go. So I will be having a moan in this video, just so that you are aware. But first of all, let's start with work updates. So work is going well, except it's too damn hot to work. We've been in the 30s this week. We're meant to be in the 30s. Well, we was in the 30s last week. We're meant to be in the 30s again this week. It isn't bad to say it's spring. It's not meant to be normally that hot. Normally the 30s don't get until nearer the summertime. So yes, it's been stinking hot up work. The splitting saw has gone off to get updated, or whatever they're doing to it, revamped. That was meant to be back on Friday, but never come back. Well, apparently when that comes back, there's going to be a lot of wood splitting. So I don't know how they're going to do that one, but apparently it's going to be running for a long time. So I know they've got a fair stack of wood that they want splitting, but I don't know how they're going to do it all. Bearing in mind there's only 5 of us in the shed who deal with the cutting of the wood and whatever, and we've still got other orders to fill. So I don't know how it's going to work. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. With regards to my saw, as I said before, it's meant to be getting replaced. I don't know what's happening with that now. The guys who've taken the splitting saw, the boss showed them my saw and was asking about replacing the rollers inside. So the rollers inside are like I don't know what they are, hard plastic or whatever. So sometimes the wood slips when it's raining. So if the wood's wet, it slips. So he now wants those replacing with metal rollers with the grooves in them to grab the wood, and the hopes that will sort out the inconsistency with the wood. So I've no idea now if I'm getting a new saw or not. I was like, oh come on, you've been promising me a new saw now for over 3 years and I still haven't got it. And now you're just on about replacing the rollers. So who knows? So we will see how these new rollers go. So I don't know when they're getting put in. There was doing a quotation for them for the rollers. So whether they put those in when they bring the splitting saw back or not, I have no idea. So we will see. Time will tell. Mum's doing okay. I've got a social worker coming out to see her. I don't know when. My brother just messaged me saying there's a social worker coming out to see Mum. So I'll find out when I phone up tonight. So I think it's just to see if they can do anything for her or anything like that. But she's now on about she wants to go into a bungalow again. Why she wants to go into a bungalow, I don't know, because she has at home, she's just downstairs all the time anyway. She can't go up the stairs, so she's got a bedroom, the kitchen, the bathroom, well, toilet, should I say. So I don't know what she's planning on getting out of going into a bungalow, but apparently she wants to see about that now. So we'll see. As I say, I'll find out more when I phone up tonight. But other than that, as far as I'm aware, she's doing okay. None of my brothers have said anything otherwise. My niece over in the UK, she has a driving test this week. I don't know what day. Originally it was meant to be in January. Then it got brought forward to December. And then apparently they had a cancellation and she's doing it this week at some point. So I don't know when. All I know is it's some point this week. So fingers crossed for her. That means when I go over at Christmas time, if she's passed, she can drive me around everywhere. She doesn't know that yet, but she soon will. And it's my brother's birthday on next Saturday. Well, on Saturday coming up, the 5th of November. So bonfire night. So it's his birthday. So at some point I will be speaking to him. What's going on here? I've gone through my thread somehow. I hate it when that happens, when you go through your thread. Not bad to say I've got the Baltic needle and you're not meant to be able to do that, but I always seem to do it. So bear with me 2 seconds while I get this sorted out. I think it's because the ball tip on this one hasn't been formed properly. It's still got some rough parts on it, so I think that's probably why it's gone through. Sorted, there we go. Alright. So, if you remember last Stitch with Me, I mentioned about a parcel that I'm still waiting on. Yep, still hasn't turned up yet. But there has been movement in it. So I don't know why they couldn't find it. So, as I say, went to Brisbane, which is near me. And went to the sorting office there. And that's the last time it got scanned. And hasn't been seen off since. Well, I just happened to go on and check to see if it had moved, and it's moved. I was like, yay. It's now on the other side of the country in Western Australia. Bear in mind, I'm on the east coast. So how the heck it's got over to the other side of the country is beyond me. So I now have to wait for that to come back this way. So they've estimated I should get it at some point this week, anytime from Tuesday. So today, as you're watching this, to Friday. So we'll see if it turns up this time. But when I looked at it the other day, it still hadn't shown any movement from when it arrived at Western Australia. So whether it's on a plane or not, back to Brisbane, I have no idea. So yes, So interesting on that one. I don't know how the heck it got over there, as I say. Seeing as it's tracked and scanned, so I have no idea how it managed to go onto a plane to Western Australia. So that will be winging its way back to me eventually. I'm going to get the moan over with now, and then it's out the way before I answer your questions. So Shane at the moment is down at his mum and dad's. He's gone with his sister. He was going down this weekend anyway to do the oil change on his dad's car. As you remember, he did ours last week. So he was going down there this week to do that one. Now, his sister was also going down with her grandson, so the little baby that was born not long since, Hudson. So they were going down with him. So it was his sister and husband. So Shane had planned that he was going down to his friends this weekend, and then from there he was going to go to his mum and dad's today, Sunday, to meet up with his sister and all that lot. His sister then said she wasn't bothered about going. So Shane was like, well, okay then, well, if he's going down there on Saturday, or yesterday, then he will do the oil change in that on his dad's car while he's there. Well, he's down that end. So he was going to do that yesterday, and then he was going to have a look at the brakes on our car just to see if they need replacing. And then all of a sudden his sister then decided that she wants to go down today and wanted Shane to drive because her husband didn't want to drive. Well, how it was, let me rephrase that. She mentioned to her husband that she wanted to go down today, and he said he will only go if Shane's driving, because he can't be bothered to drive all the way down to their mum and dad's. So Shane cancelled his plans to take his sister down to his mum and dad's with the baby. So he was going to do the service today. His dad now said to wait till next weekend to do the service. So there was no need for him to go down, mainly so they could see the grandbaby, or great-grandbaby, whatever you want to call it. So Shane's just had to go at her husband, saying that Shane's cancelled his plans because he's not willing to drive them down. And he said he will go as long as Shane's driving. And she says, no, that's not fair. So he said, fine, he won't go. He will stay at home and he will cut the grass and do whatever. Fair enough. And I said to Shane, I said, it's still not fair. You shouldn't have had to cancel your plans to run around after your sister, when her husband's quite capable of doing it himself. Anyway, his sister didn't want to go too late today because obviously she got the little one, so she wanted to get him back home and whatever. So she says to him, I'll message you when we're setting off and when we're near yours, and then just meet us at the gates, because obviously, hopefully the little one will be asleep, so she doesn't have to turn the car off for long, so he doesn't wake up. So it was just going to meet him at the gate. So the message said that they were on the way, so Shane got his stuff together and then went outside to wait for the next message to say that they were almost there. And would you credit it? Who gets out the driver's side? Her husband. I was like, are you kidding me? So he's decided he's going down to their mum and dad's, even though he wasn't, because Shane changed all his plans to drive them down there. And he gets out the car from the driver's side so that Shane can get in and drive him. And he was staying at home after his sister had to go at him. And I was like, you better be kidding me. So Needless to say, that put me in a little bit of a mood. Now they're going to be dropping Shane off later on, or should I say Shane will be driving them back here later on. I'm going to drop the little one off first and then come here. So when they get here, they're getting it. They're going to be getting it 2 barrels, because it's not fair that Shane always cancels his plans to run around after them. If I'd known it was going to be like that when we moved up here, I wouldn't have moved up here. I kind of had an idea that they would use him, because Shane doesn't know how to say no. So I had an inkling that they would use him as much as possible, but not as much as they are doing. So if they want to go somewhere, they ask Shane, because they want Shane to drive them, because they can't be bothered to drive however far it's going to be. So they're going to get it both barrels when they get back here, because it's not fair. He shouldn't have to change his plans just to run around after them. It's like they're both quite capable of doing stuff. So it's like cutting the grass. Half the time Shane's sister's husband will not cut the grass. So Shane's sister will phone Shane up to come and cut their grass, even though she's quite capable of cutting the grass herself. Or she will help him cut the grass and do little bits while Shane does the main pull. Yet our grass goes uncut because he's over there doing theirs. So things are going to come to a head, because it's just not fair on him or on me. Because if we want to plan to do anything, we can't, because we've got to wait for his sister to decide what plans she wants Shane to do at the weekend. So they're getting it both barrels now. I've had enough, 3 years of it. So if they come in after they've got back here, they're all going to get it. So moan over, that's it. So on that note, we have a couple of questions. So we will jump into the questions. So the first one is from Sharon, who forgot a part of her question last week when I was on about the chefing and that. So she said, well, she remembers. On the subject of chefing, would you cook the most? I think that would be, what would you cook the most? I don't know. So yeah, I enjoy chefing. I don't mind cooking the main meals and stuff like that, but what I prefer doing is like the desserts. So making cakes and eclairs and stuff like that. So sweet stuff. And like your bread and butter pudding, rice puddings. I like doing desserts. I don't mind cooking main meals as well. I do. Well, when I was in the UK, I used to make soups, like in winter time. I never used to get any of the soup. As soon as I'd make it, my mum and my brothers would be straight in it, and it'd all be gone by the time I got to it. Cottage pies, I make a mean cottage pie. That doesn't last long either. Lasagna. So I don't mind cooking. Over here, Shane prefers to do the cooking, so I let him. I've done it for years. So I let him do the cooking. I don't mind at all. So Shane will do a lot of the cooking at home. He will make cakes and stuff like that, but he buys the packet ones, like you just add like eggs and milk or water or whatever to it and then stick them in the oven. That's Shane's idea of baking. So, whereas I prefer to make it all from scratch. I don't know, I haven't got many questions, but I've got a couple. So next one's from Mrs. Miggins. It says, the company that I work for must be making good profit, the amount of money and they intend to spend. They always make a good profit. Everything they need, everything at the work is all purchased outright. So, you know, like machinery and stuff like that and trucks. So, whereas a lot of people will get them on finance to last them. Over here, I don't know how it works, but they can get certain equipment written off at tax time. I'm assuming it's the whole price of it. I'm not 100% sure how it works. It's really strange over here with the tax and companies side of things. I think they can purchase like so much and then it gets written off at tax time, so they don't have to pay for it. But anything that the company wants, they do just go out and pay for it outright in full. So they have enough money. The family that run it are very money orientated, let's put it that way. The one who drives the fork, who deals with the sending stuff out and receiving deliveries, he's the most. If for any reason one of the trucks is broken, he will have a strop because he can't send stuff out to make money. And he will sulk for ages. So yeah, they are all very money orientated. I mean, it's like a couple of the saws at work, they need fixing, but they won't fix them because it costs money. But now, obviously, it's going to cost them even more money because they have to get them all replaced because they're not looked after them in the first place. If they'd have fixed them when they were being asked to be fixed, then they wouldn't have had to buy all new saws. But yeah, they're not one to go without. She says, Shane seems to spend a lot of time with his sister, or is it just on Saturdays? And will he be with your sister, with his sister at Christmas? So, Shane and his sister are very close. They lived together a couple of times. But yeah, he phones her up every day. Well, I tell her, the only day he doesn't phone her up is Thursday because we get back from shopping later, so he doesn't phone her on a Thursday. That's the only day he doesn't phone her. So he phones her every day. Sometimes he can be on the phone for 10 minutes with her, and sometimes they'll be on for an hour or whatever. And then, as I say, at weekends, if he's not doing anything, he's generally over there doing something for them or running around with them or for them. So yeah, they do get on very close. She knows how to manipulate him into saying yes, put it that way. So yeah, he will be spending Christmas with them. I think this year was all the family coming down to his sister's this year anyway. We're taking in turns. So the other year, last year it was at her house. The year before it was at his mum and dad's. So this year it's his sister's. So yeah, so he'll be spending Christmas there as well. But he'll also be looking after the youngest niece because they don't get, Shane's sister and her husband don't get much time off at Christmas. From what I understand, it's only a couple of days. So Shane's helping with looking after the niece. So he will have her, so no doubt they'll be speaking to each other every single day. Well, they'll be seeing each other every single day. While I'm away. I think they've already got plans for, with the eldest niece over here, taking the youngest niece and the little into the pool, because obviously it's going to be hot, it's summer. So, we will see. I think they've got a couple of days outings or something planned. I'm not 100% sure. It keeps changing. So yeah, over here we were meant to be having another, I think they call it El Nino, or wherever El Nino, one of them, where we get a lot of rain. And apparently it's now been cancelled. Apparently we're not getting it now. It's just going to be the normal storms that we normally get in summer. Because originally the rains were meant to be coming until April, I think they said, next year. And now we had a big storm front come through the other week. But now apparently that's it. It's not going to be a rainy season. It's something to do with the Indian Ocean or something like that, the temperature in the Indian Ocean, but it's dropped off drastically. So we're not going to get a lot of rain now. So that means it's going to be really hot. So when I get back from the UK, it's going to be scorching over here, which is going to be fun. Not. As I say, we've already had the portable aircon on already a couple of times. It's been absolutely roasting. You have to let me know as well if you found any Jeffrey Deaver on YouTube. obviously mentioned I read the Jeffrey Deaver books. So she said she was going to look to see if there was any Jeffrey Deaver on YouTube. So you have to let me know if you found any. I don't know how you'd find Jeffrey Deaver stuff on YouTube, but hey, there we go. I've never looked. Alright, so that was that question. So the next one is from Trish, aka Mexi Maynard. Couple of questions. Do you like stitching inside the Q-snap in the well or on top of the fabric? I stitch on top. I tried putting a piece on to see what it was like doing that stitching in the well, and I couldn't get the piece in right, and then I realised if I flipped a piece over and then put it on so from the back it would have gone right, but no. So no, I stitch on top of the Q-snap, and then if I need to flip it over I tie off in the well. I think that's the right way around of saying it. So yeah, so mine's always mounted on top. Some of them I need to do it so I stitch in the well for ending threads, because I always get too close to the edges of the Q-snap and then can't end my stitch. So yeah, I need to start learning how to learning to do that one that way. It probably would make it easier, but then again I don't know how I'd get on with it. We'll see. I'll give it a try. Question 2. In regards to the tiger picture hanging behind you in your update videos, will you be adding any other animals with him? Or will you switch him out with something else? I think your supersized tiger family would be lovely there when it's finished. If. So no, I will add some more to him. I've got the dolphin, the underwater World of Water, the one that I finished, the dolphins. I've got that one. I still need to get a frame for that one, so I'll probably add that on there at some point when I get a frame for it. So yeah, no, it's not going to be on his own. I'm not going to switch him out. He'll be up there. So yeah, at some point there will be extras added on, or then again there might be just added around the house when and if I finish them. We will see. But yes, supersized tiger will look fantastic on there when I get around to finishing it. But that's going to be a long time before that gets finished. According to my Stitch Pal app, that should be finished in 2027. If I do, I was working this out earlier on. Hang on, I'll put it wrote down. I think it's something like 2,500. If I do 2,275 stitches a week on supersized tiger family, I can get him finished in 2027. So you know what I'm going to be aiming for next year when supersized tiger gets more work on it. I'm going to be aiming to try and get 3,000 a week on it or something like that, so I can get it finished even earlier. But we'll see. I've still got a lot of stitches left to go on there. What did I say? I've still got 590,957 stitches to go on supersized tiger. So yeah, it's going to take a while. You never know, I might get some rushes on where I get some nice easy stitching parts and it's not all confetti, so it goes a bit quicker and I'll reduce my time. We'll see. So I'm with the Q-snap now, you can't see properly. That's that one. So next one's from Jody, who asks, when you and Shane go somewhere, who drives? Well, it just depends. 9 out of 10, Shane will drive to wherever we're going, and I will drive home. That's generally how it works. Before we got the car under finance in both our names, Shane had his own car, so he would drive everywhere. there and back. He wouldn't let me drive because it was his car. I just drove it every now and then. But yeah, he wouldn't let me drive at all. But when I was going for the new car, because it had to go in my name for the finance, I turned around and told him there and then that if I'm doing this, then he's not driving the car constantly. So it will be, he will drive it one way and I will drive it the other way. So that's what we've done ever since. So for the last 2 years, 2.5 years we've had the car. So for example, he will drive it to work, I will drive it home from work. If we're going over to his sister's, he will drive it to his sister's, I'll drive it back from his sister's. So every now and then I do grab the keys first and it was like I drive there and back. But normally that's only like to the shops or something like that. But yeah, 9 out of 10, that's how we do it. One will drive there, one will drive on the way back. And for example, if we're going to a family do, Shane will drive there and I generally drive back because Shane has a drink. So I always end up driving, which doesn't bother me. Maybe when I was a bit younger I'd have moaned about that, but no, it doesn't really bother me drinking nowadays. I must be getting older. I say, well, I've not had a drink since for the last, I think, maybe 3.5 years. And it doesn't bother me in the slightest, so it doesn't bother me at all not drinking, so I just drive. So Shane can drink. Oh, so as I mentioned with the monochrome tiger piece, mentioned it before about looking at different options. So a couple of people mentioned on the video to ask Kelly, who's Kel Stitches, to dye me a piece of fabric. And I've not got around to asking her, and she must be in what you might stitch with me and ask me what colour, what kind of orange I would be looking at. So she's going to dye me a piece of fabric, so I'm just going to order a piece of fabric. Well, better get it done today. And she's going to dye me a nice bright orange, which is going to be awesome. And then I'll just stitch it with probably black or a dark brown. So probably black, I think. I've got plenty of that. So yes. So she's going to do a couple of tests to see which kind of orange I like, and we'll go from there. So I want it a pretty brightish orange, I think. I don't want it too dark an orange. So we'll see how we go. And I think that's all the questions I got. That one answered in my update video. So there's another one from Melanie who asked if I could do a close-up of how I do the pin stitch on Evenweave and how I start with 1/1. So I can't show you how to do the pin stitch on this one, but there is a video. It's I think it was a floss tube extra, which is different ways to start and end your threads. I believe that's what it was. So on there, that will show you how I start with 1/1 with one strand, with 2 strands, and different variations, ways of finishing them. So like the pin stitch and everything like that. So that will show you all of the close-ups. So if you search for that, you will find all the ones that you're after. But yeah, it's I mentioned it in one of my other videos. I'm pretty sure it's called how different ways to start and end your threads or something like that. But if you can't find it, Melanie, just let me know and I'll do another one for you. And that's all the questions. So we are at 28 degrees at the moment, and Kitty is under the covers on the sofa. Because obviously it's not hot enough for her. I think she needs to go and live in a desert or something. Oh, we got when was it? Thursday? Yeah, Thursday I think it was. Shane was sat out the back on his tablet, and the cats were out there, and they were staring at something on the roof. Shane couldn't see it to start with, and then he saw it, and he shouted at me, and there was a stick insect. Now, this stick insect was absolutely huge. It was bigger than my head, put it that way. It was massive. How it got in is beyond me, because in the cat area it's all sealed off, so it's got all shade cloth around it, so things can't get in. Little bugs can get in through the little small gaps, and moths, but how this got in is beyond me, because it was absolutely humongous. So Shane, being the scaredy pants that he is, wouldn't get it in his hands, so I told him to get a tub, so he got a big tub. And then by the time we finished messing around, this thing had climbed up the roof a bit more, and he couldn't reach it. Now, Shane's taller than me, so if he couldn't reach it, there's no way I was going to be able to reach it. So I ended up, in the end, getting a mop and using the handle to try and coax the stick insect to walk onto the handle. And it would get most of the way on the handle, and then I tried to pull it away. Man, those things are strong. He was gripping onto, like, one of the beams that go across with like one leg, and I couldn't pull him off. He had a proper grip on there. So I tried several times and I just couldn't get him, so I turned the mop around so he was walking onto the mop head. So he got on the mop head, and then I brought him down and we put him in the tub. And then Shane took him outside to... He's going, where should I put him? I went, well, put him near the tree, seeing as there's a stick insect, and they climb trees. So he put him near the tree. But yeah, that thing was huge. And then the day after, the cats were playing with something in the dining room. And Shane's like, well, what are they playing with? So he went up and had a look. They were playing with a tree frog. Now, how the heck a tree frog got in the house is beyond me. Because if one of the cats had brought it in, I'm pretty sure the tree frog would have screamed, because they generally scream when the cats scare all of them. And this didn't scream. And it was in the house. So then he's trying to keep the cats away from the tree frog so he can get a container to grab the tree frog. Because again, Shane won't pick them up. Now, in the dining room, there is a door that leads onto the veranda. So the frog was near that door. The door was closed, so I don't know how he got in. Shane was near that door. So he got the tree frog in the tub and then walked to the front door to go outside. It's like, there's a door right there, Shane. You could just walk straight through that. It was like literally arm's reach. And now he walked to the front door to go out the front door to let the frog out. I was like, okay, whatever. And again, he's like, where can I put this? I says, well, again, it's a tree frog. They climb trees. Put it near a tree. So I don't know whereabouts he put that one, but yeah, he took it out there. And I don't know if I mentioned before, we have the noisy miners, which are generally the ones that I think you can hear in the videos. Now, underneath the trees, over here, anyway, a lot of people put their grass clippings under the trees. So the birds, for some reason, like to sunbathe in it. So they all spread out with the wings spread out, so they look like they're dead, but they're not. So all these birds were sunbathing yesterday under the tree. And Shane was cutting the grass. Well, he got half the grass. And he was like, oh, should we put a tub of water out for them? Because at the old house we were in, we used to put a bowl of water out for the magpies. So there's something to drink in the summer. So I was like, yeah, just get one of the tubs. So he used the massive tub that we call the stick insecting, filled it up with water, then tried getting out the front door. I was like, well, why didn't you just take the tub outside and then fill it up with the hose pipe? He went, yeah, I didn't think of that one. So anyway, so I put this tub out there, and all these little birds were diving in it for obviously having a bath and cooling down and then drinking it, and then a big magpie come over and scared them all off, and he wanted the water. So yeah, so the birds are loving the tub of water. But I'm going to say it has been pretty stinking hot. I'm going to say it was only 31, I think, yesterday. It seemed a lot hotter than that. I don't know why. And I don't know if I mentioned it or not. The other day, when was it? No, I wouldn't have done, because I did my stitch with me on a Saturday last week. Sunday, we had a storm, and we had I think they're called king parrots. So it's a red and green parrot, the ones that normally exchange tomatoes. Sat on the veranda, balcony, balcony part, the railings. Sat on there, staying out the storm, and the cats saw it. Well, the cats were going crazy trying to get to this parrot through the window. So we ain't going to get it. Anyway, he flew off a bit and was sat on the chairs. We've got some chairs under the veranda near the front door. So he was sat on there. Obviously, must have still been getting away from the storm. So he was sat on there. Well, I thought, I'll go out and see if he wants some bread or something like that. So I opened the front door, and just as I'm shutting the front door, Tiger comes flying out the front door, chasing this parrot. So I'm trying to chase after Tiger, bearing in mind that the veranda was wet and I was only in bare feet. I was sliding all over the shop trying to catch Tiger from getting this parrot. Anyway, the parrot flew off, and Tiger was still running up and down the veranda trying to see what else he could get. So then there's me attempting to chase the cat, sliding all over the place. Caught him eventually. But then every time, later that day, if I went to the front door, he thought, oh, my chance to go and get a parrot again. And he kept coming to the door, and it's like, no, I'm only going to the rubbish bin. Get off. So yeah, I think if I hadn't scared the parrot by chasing Tiger, there's a good chance Tiger would have caught that parrot. He was determined, I will tell you that for now. So yeah, but it's been a fun week chasing animals that aren't mine. Oh, and then I had a gecko in the lounge room. It was too high up. It was right near the ceiling, so there's no way reaching it without getting a ladder. And it was there one night. Was it night time? No. Yes, it was there at the night time. So I thought, well, if we hear any clunking in the middle of the night, it's the cats obviously trying to get this gecko. Anyway, when we got up in the morning, the gecko was still there, in the same corner. So I was like, all right. So the cats weren't bothered about it because it'd not moved, obviously. And then that night, it started moving, and it was making its way down. So it was in the corner above where I sit. It was making its way down towards my seat. So I thought, right, if I get a tub, I can catch him, because these beggars are fast. I can't catch him with my hands. If I get a tub, I can catch him. Nah, that didn't work. He ran to the other side where the cat tree is, and it was just above the cat tree. And I was like, well, if the cats come flying in, they've got it. So I'm trying to keep the cats away while trying to catch this gecko. And then it ran upwards towards the ceiling again. So I've got Shane there with a stick, trying to make the gecko run towards me. So it would run towards me and then it dropped on the floor. I was like, oh, great. So there's me and Shane trying to get the cats out of the way, trying to catch this gecko running across the floor. Then it ran back up the wall again. So again we tried to catch it and then it dropped on the floor again and then it disappeared. I have no idea where it went to. And it's like, great. So the cats were looking everywhere for it. I was looking everywhere for it. Couldn't find it. So I was like, oh well, it'll come back out at some point and then I'll catch it. Anyway, it didn't come back out. And then that night, I woke up at some point. Went to the loo and then went and got a drink. And as I was shutting the fridge door, obviously because there's a light on in the fridge, I saw it. It was near the front door on the roof. And I was like, okay, well if you're still there tomorrow, I can catch you. And got up in the morning and it'd gone. I've not seen it since, so I don't know whether he's made his way back outside somehow or what, but he's disappeared. And I haven't heard a cat with it, and I haven't seen a gecko tail anywhere on the floor, so I'm assuming they never got him. So yes, there's either a gecko running around the house somewhere, it's a decent sized one, or he's made his way back outside. We nearly hit a kangaroo the other day going to work. I'm just leaving a desert. And it goes onto like a bit of a country road, if you like. And this kangaroo, now this was not a small kangaroo. This beggar was huge. Just come hopping out onto the road. And Shane did not see it. Shane was driving. Shane did not see this kangaroo at all. I had to shout at him to slam on the brakes. So he slammed on the brakes and then swerved. I missed the kangaroo, luckily. And I was like, how the heck did you not see that? He went, I didn't see it. I says, it's huge. I mean, this thing must have been a good 6 feet tall. It was massive. Built like a brick house. And yeah, Shane didn't see it. I said, well, if you stop looking around and concentrate on where you're going when you're driving, I says, you'd have seen that beggar. I said, I saw it ages ago. But I thought he'd seen it, and it clearly he never did. So yeah. So we nearly ended up as a kangaroo with a kangaroo hood ornament, which wouldn't have been good for the cow. That's 3 kangaroos Shane's nearly hit now. One was going down to his sister's. And that one just jumped out of nowhere. So Shane, did we clip that one? No, we didn't clip that one. We missed that one. And then another one was going to work. And again, this one just came from nowhere. Because the grass hadn't been cut near the road of the side of the road, he jumped out of there, and Shane clipped his tail. So that one was all right. It didn't do any damage to the car. But yeah, Shane just clipped the back end of his tail on that one. And then I'm saying then this one, which we nearly had as a hood ornament. So yeah, Shane really needs to look where he's driving. He has a habit of looking out of the driver's window for some reason. So to his right, he's always constantly looking out of his driver's window. And it's like, stop looking out the window and look where you're driving. So heaven knows how he gets on when he's in the truck. I'm assuming he pays more attention when he's in the truck than he does when he's in the car. Some bird going off at someone. So for doing the 1/1 start, this is how I do it. So I go down a bit away from where I'm going to be starting, so I'm going to start at this end. So I'll go down, you can go as far away as you want to. Sometimes I do it just like 1 square away, but for doing it this method, I do it this way. And then you come up in your starting hole, pull it until you've got a little bit of a tail. Then your first leg, and then straight up in the bottom hole for your second leg. Start pulling it, and then pull it till that tail near enough disappears, like that. Anchors that in place, and then continue, finish your stitch. It says, and then you're good to go. And then just continue stitching. That will stitch over that tail that runs across the back. So. Or if you've left it sticking out a little bit too far, once you've done a couple of stitches, just scrape your needle down the back, and that will pull the thread through so you haven't got it sticking up. But that's how I do it, and I find it really easy doing it that way. Next week, if I remember, I will see about doing a bit of work on the 40 count as was stitched with me, if I remember. So that one, I'll have to have it zoomed in a fair bit, and I'll be having my glasses on so I can see where I'm going. Yeah, that's going to be fun. So I started going through my spare flossers yesterday to try and see about kitting up the projects that need to be kitting up for the ones that I'm working on next year. And I thought, oh, it shouldn't take too long. Shouldn't. So I got my big cats piece. I got that one all kitted up, but three flossers that I just need to order for that one. And then I started on the Daintree Tigers. I've got a fair few of those. I still need 50. Need to find 50 colours for that one. But I haven't finished going through everything yet. And I thought, oh, it can't have been that long. I think it took me like 2 hours just to do those 2 projects. It's like, right, no, let's do this. I'm not doing it anymore. I'll just gradually do them throughout the rest of this year, get them all kitted up for the ones I need, and then maybe go through each one and order what I need. Now the only one I need to work out is the tenderness one, which is the cheetah and cub from Cross Stitch for Everyone. Now when you're looking on the like Heaven and Earth ones, for example, it will say you need like 1 skein of floss for, I don't know, say like 2,000 stitches. And on the Cross Stitch for Everyone, obviously they've done that on a lower stitch count, so I don't know what she's done it on. So like for the same amount of stitches, it says like I need like 4 skeins or 5 skeins, and it's like, right, I need to try and work out how many skeins I'm going to need for that. So I might just order 1 or 2 of each colour. Well, find out 1 or 2 of each colour. I think a lot of them only needs, I've worked it out and will probably only need 1 skein, so I might already have them, and some of them maybe 2. So yeah, so I've still got a couple of projects I need to finish kitting up, ready for starting for next, well, not starting, but ready for next year. And then next year I will then start kitting up my other projects that I haven't got all the flossers for, and then I'm hoping to go through and start kitting up the projects that have been gifted by people, so then I can start them in 2024. That's my plan for next year. Whether I pull that plan off or not is a different thing. So we will see. So next month, I think at the beginning of November, I think, I did the Silks for You Christmas Club this year. So which is I think it's a 12 days of Christmas or something like that. So they'll send you out like 12 parcels to be opened from, I think it's from the 13th of December or something like that. So I've seen a couple do it last year and the year before, so I thought, oh, I'll give it a go, see what it's like. So you just pay a certain amount each month. No, well, it's not each month, it's every 2 months, I think. They send you an invoice. I think it's every 2 months. I can't remember now whether it was every 2 or every 3 months. I think it was every 2. So they were going to send the final invoices out this month, but because Australia Post has managed to get back onto target with deliveries and that, they've decided they were going to leave it till November. So they're sending that out. I'm pretty sure they said the first week in November they're going to send the final invoices out, pay that, and then they'll ship you stuff. So they're ever in Queensland anyway, I think, Silks for You. So it shouldn't take me long to get mine. But then it's a case of, right, now I have to remember. I'm going to have to pack that in my suitcase to take over to the UK. Or I'm going to have to open it all before I go to the UK. Or wait until I come back from the UK. So we'll see. But if I wait till I come back from the UK, then that means everyone's going to spoil it, because everybody else who's got it and opens it on their floss tubes, I'm going to know what I'm getting. So we will see. Haven't decided yet. But that one, from what I see from everybody else's, looks like it's a decent amount of silks and stuff like that you get each Christmas. So it looks a good value for money, that's for sure. So we'll find out when we get it all. And then if it's any good, I might do it again next year. I think it's only something like 22 Australian dollars every 2 months or something like that. So it's not like $10, it's only like $10 a month. So I can cope with that. $2.50 a week. Yep. For a load of silk. That'll do. So we're almost an hour. It's gone pretty quick. And then we'll see how talkative they are in my Facebook group. I did mute my chat for an hour, so if they're very talkative, it'll start pinging anytime soon. So we'll see. I've sent Shane on a mission as well while he's down at his mum and dad's to find some cat grass. So we've got some cat grass, but we had it out the front so it could grow a bit because Tiger munches it like it's going out of fashion. So I thought we left it out front for a bit, and we brought it back in the other week, and it's now just it's 3 little stumps in the pot. So I sent Shane on a mission to see if we can find any more cat grass. I don't know when they bring it out at Bunnings. I don't know if it's all year round or not. So he's gone to see if he can find some cat grass. Tiger will be happy. We brought the cat mint in for Ginge. Ginge loves the cat mint. So we brought that in for him. So there was Tiger munching on the cat grass and Ginge rubbing his face in the cat mint. I think it was meant to be catnip, but I don't know. Which is the same thing, I think. So yeah, so he was rubbing his face all around that and sticking his head in it and munching away. So that one's still doing okay, but the cat grass is like near enough all gone. So we need to get another one so we can swap them out, so we can get the other one growing again. So I don't know how that's going to work, if it's going to be drier than what they anticipated. We're going to have to water it a bit more, or try and remember to water it a bit more. But we'll see. Right, I think I'm going to end this one here. Still got a few things to do, like for example, get my videos uploaded and edited, and soon as there's 3 this week. So I'm going to leave it here this time. So I'm sorry it's a bit shorter than normal. Well, not shorter than normal, it's shorter than the last couple. Next week I'll do another long one again. I'm going to end it here. So again guys, if you do have any questions or comments, then please feel free to drop those down below. Again, you can email me. Email address as always is dizzystitcher@gmail.com, or I am on Instagram as dizzystitcher. You can message me on there as well. Oh, someone did mention as well that they were watching my Stitch with Me. And obviously when I first started doing these, I used to put down which piece I was working on as the title of the Stitch with Me. So, and they wanted to know if I'd done any more. I think it was Mini D Creek or something like that they were watching and wanted to know if I'd done any more on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting the name of the project on each Stitch with Me. Just if anyone is wanting to watch like the progress on it, for example, you can find that one easily enough. So I'm going to start doing that, I think. So I'm going to go back and rename the other one. So if you do get a load of random Stitch with Me all of a sudden to pop up, it's because I've changed the name of it. I don't know how it works, whether it reloads it up or just changes the name. So if you get a load of Stitch with Me pop up all of a sudden and you're like, I've seen this one, you know why. So, right, leave that there. Better mark it off and all, then. Let's see how much we've done. Well, it should be roughly around about 300 stitches, I think. It should be. Yep, 300 stitches. There we go, 300 stitches in an hour. It's not bad. If only I worked that fast normally. I'm going to have to just do like a 24-hour Stitch with Me or something like that and see how much stitching I can get done on one piece. I'd probably get loads. So, right guys, so that's it from me. So again, thank you very much for watching, much appreciated. And until my next video, which will be my 23 whips in 2023 video, which will go up on Thursday. Take care, stay safe, happy stitching, and thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye bye for now.